Do a mic check.
Microphone check. 1, 2. Microphone check. Microphone check. Well, you just blatantly gave me a chance to show my age first off.
Oh, goodness.
Kick some sick beats on the stream.
That is.
I'm gonna get us pulled down just for
So
sick beat kicking. Hey everyone, if you're not here for the sick beats, you're probably here for the live painting. Welcome. My name is David Lozeau, artist and apparently rapper extraordinaire. Thanks for joining me. We're doing a little painting tonight, a little small piece. If it's the first time joining the stream, feel free to fire questions through the entire time. That's what I'm here for. We're gonna get down with this little painting tonight. So you'll see some of the progress. What I'm doing now is mixing my enamel. This is the last stage of the painting. The first stage is the acrylic, which you see in the background. All the colors are gouache, which is like an opaque watercolor. And this is enamel that I'm doing now. So thanks for joining me. Again, any questions, feel free to fire them through and let's get after it.
Christy Herrera, formerly Divine. Says what's up, hey.
I memorize first and last names now. New names.
Just to clarify, for the future, you'll never have to hear it again.
New names.
It's
all right, Herrera.
She's here for the sick beats.
All right, sick. Well, yeah, that's what you should be here for.
She's here for the sick beats. Sophia says hello from Virginia Beach.
Sophia, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Bob says it sounds good.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Bob.
Nomadic Blue Art says hello, David. Good morning from India. 2
streams he's made it to. All right.
Bob is calling. Bob's calling in from Boston.
Bob online too.
Bob is watching from Boston.
Oh, excellent. East Coaster.
And Almighty Custom Works over on Instagram says, good. I spent last local GB to watch your stream.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, guys.
You're
all over. It's going to be in the way for a little bit.
I don't want to see their head.
I know, but just as I get this side done. Is that better?
Yes. And Instagram can't really see off the side.
Yeah, I know. Instagram, give me a second. We'll get you all sorted out.
Put yourself together.
Well, Instagram. Why are you watching it on a vertical format? Grandparent format.
Matt Kidd says, I'm back again. Hello from the East Coast, North Carolina. Literally feet from the Atlantic.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for joining us. Dip your toes in the water.
Rick Pierce, New Hampshire, checking in.
Oh, geez. 603 in the house. 603.
Does have one area code? Is it only 603?
That sounds judgmental, but yes, it is only a 603.
But is it true?
Yeah. That's on a 603.
Alan Kaufman, Iowa, checking in.
Iowa in the house.
All right.
We have some places I didn't think even had internet on tonight, so.
603.
603 in the house. Good to see fellow.
Herrera from Arizona, of course.
Excellent.
Maybe Divine.
AZ's pretty represented well in the stream. I think 603 has made the first appearance.
Maury Miller says, love your work. Thanks for sharing it. Must love from Colorado.
Thank you, Maury.
Nice.
Love me some Colorado.
Rick is saying correct, 603.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Rick, I'm from New Hampshire. That's why I don't know if you knew that or not, but I appreciate the 603 joining the house.
There's so much New Hampshire right now.
Yeah.
Literally in front of me. Come on.
It's about to get wicked awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, we'll go to Gillies, which might not even be there anymore. Let's go to Rye Beach, dude. No plow guy. Are you a plow guy? Is the bunny cooperating?
Bunny is very much asleep.
What's up?
So, Almighty Customs is saying, move your camera a little bit right because we don't see how exactly you're drawing. Yeah, we're Instagram. It only lets us center it, so it should be in frame now.
Yeah, we're trying to get there. Instagram sucks.
It's a little tough. Sam on the Beach said this one's beautiful.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks for joining us. Where's the cut line on Instagram? Middle of that rose?
Yeah, the middle of the rose, exactly.
All right. Let me hammer this rose out then. Yeah, if you're on Instagram, you're getting kind of the cut feed. I apologize for that. But Instagram is...
Or you could look at a dog. Oh, he's hiding. Son of a bitch, dog.
Never going to cooperate.
John Huerta says, hey, David, you have a very steady hand.
Huerta in the house. Good to hear from you, John. Thanks for joining us. It's a no coffee style hand. Keep it unshaky.
Sam says, are you streaming on any other platforms? Yes, 2 Facebooks, Twitch, YouTube. So all those feeds would show much wider feeds. It shows kind of a full feed. I think Twitter too. I think it's on Twitter too. Let me check. Yeah, it is on Twitter too. So everywhere else shows the full feed. Instagram just makes us do a center line.
So if you want to see the real deal.
So Nomadic Blue is saying, is this a new kind of skull you're trying from the regular cute skulls, or do you try something new? So this is it. This is my anatomical style. It's just that it's a child skull, so it really has that kind of. It's in between. It makes it look like it's kind of in between anatomical and cute, but it's just because it's a child's skull. So it's a realistic skeleton, full, to scale. But because it's a child's skull, it really has that kind of cute, goofy appearance.
But wouldn't you say that you paint in 3 different?
There's basically 3 skeleton styles. There's the anatomical, which is the more exact, usually teeth, jaw, everything there. There's the kind of in between goofy anatomical, which is a little more exaggerated, a little more fun, stretched out, eyeballs, eye sockets are expanded, a little more expression in the skull. And then there's the cute version, which is no teeth, and it's really kind of big eyes. All the cute stuff is usually done in that technique.
Helen is saying hello from Scotland. I absolutely should be going to sleep, but I love watching you work. Love the skull size.
Oh, Helen, thank you. Thank you for joining us from Scotland.
That's what we're thinking. If we just push this a little early, maybe some of our internationals.
Mm-hmm.
Right before bed.
The problem with Scotland.
Right before bed.
Right before bed.
John is asking, do you use canvas or board?
So this is on board. It's a coated masonite, company name called Ampersand. So basically it's masonite that has a coating on top of it, like a gesso, basically a hard coating, and it's really made for water-based medias. So it's one of my favorite things to paint on. I've been painting on it for years, and it just really gives me a great result. I really enjoy it. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
But Ampersand, if you want to give a call.
Why can't you get sponsored? Why don't you do something?
I know.
Melissa Comstock, Mel Marcon, as some might know. Hello, she says.
Yeah, you can't be giving me her other name.
I'm trying to give you the full...
Oh, people and your...
So that you know who you're dealing with.
All right. Well, I knew she was going to be here.
That's the full shebang.
She's the all-star. Doesn't miss one.
She's an all-star. Yeah, John says, I love the smoothness of that board.
Yeah, so I use the my favorite version. I've used all of them. My favorite is the aqua board because it gives me a little bit of tooth for the acrylic and water-based media. I mean, the acrylic and gouache on top. So it gives me just a little bit of tooth.
Head out of the way.
Heads out of the way.
There's a sleepy puppy.
Okay, all the plants.
Melissa said I got double named, baby.
Double name drop.
John says I'll have to try the aqua board things.
Yeah, definitely give it a try if you like the clay board, which was the first one, which is a super smooth version. Then definitely give the aqua board a try. Definitely my favorite. I even special order it in 4 by 8 foot sheets. That's how much we like it. Everybody's fired up today, it sounds like. Coming out hot.
Friday night, you know?
And we're all over the world.
Melissa's saying, is this piece for sale?
Melissa, this piece is for sale. It is available right now. It is unclaimed as of yet. This piece is 22 by 12 in a vintage frame, which if you see the picture for this stream, you'll see the frame. And he is $1,400 shipped anywhere in the world.
And then what are you thinking for prints?
Yes, and there will be prints of this too, in both paper and canvas, in all the normal sizes. Almost on the side, which will stop me from being in the way. And if you're interested in purchasing this piece, you can just send a direct message on whatever platform you're using, and we will see it. And
Melissa says I have to sell a kidney. Get right back to you.
yes, get on the kidneys. You got extra ones of those.
Your kidney is only worth $1,400. I feel like you're being robbed. I think you need to shop that kidney around.
You don't take the first kidney off forever. That's like common sense.
I still feel like that's a good price for a kidney. No, you're wrong. Oh darn, I don't know how to pronounce this. Caracilio? I'm not really sure. On Instagram, so sorry. It says, please somebody think about doing an MMA skeleton. MMA
For sure.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That really would be funny.
Yeah, we have a couple of things that will have to, they're going to make its rounds, have been in the works forever. A firefighter piece, you know, some of these things that have been asked for a while. So we'll see if we can make some of those happen.
Nomadic Blue Artist saying, when you cut the aqua board to the size you need, do you have to sand down the edges so it's not rough? Is it like cutting wood?
Great question. So it's like cutting it's a compressed wood, you know, that they mix glue with, kind of like a MDF fiberboard kind of thing. You don't need to sand it. It cuts. Maybe you can see in the picture if you're not on Instagram, you can see. I mean, this is just a straight cut that came from the jigsaw. So no need to sand it. You're good to go. And I also frame all my work so that if there is a slight jaggedness, it doesn't matter. It's hidden by the frame. Just a caveat to that.
Sleepy puppy.
At least he's cooperating.
He's sleeping.
Last stream, he just slept facing the other way the entire stream.
Rocky says, I love your work. Thanks for sharing the process.
Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate you joining the stream, hanging out with us.
Melissa says the flower head pieces are lovely.
Thank you, Melissa. This is the first time, strangely, I've ever done a headpiece style like this. So I'm excited. I like the process. So I think you may see it come around again in another piece.
Almighty Custom Works is saying, can you try to make a bobber skeleton? Like in your style, fully American. I can see that.
So let's see. We have not. I haven't done a straight up bobber. I've done a bunch of Harley stuff and motorcycle stuff. My next motorcycle piece that I'm working with is that I want to do is a 41 Harley WLD. It's a racer. I saw it and I'm super inspired by the picture. I've been actually just last night was building compositions for it and how I want to approach it. But I think that'll be the next piece that comes around, and definitely a female on a motorcycle by herself which has been off requested that I've not gotten to yet either. Those are probably the next 2 motorcycle pieces. But if I don't have a straight bobber one, you'll probably see that come around for sure. Something with a nice little slim tank, that kind of thing. That'd be fun to do. I'm a pre 1960s kind of the cutoff for the bikes that I like. I am a vintage motorcycle guy.
It says WLA, that is the real one. I own a Ural 1970 and have a couple ideas inspired by your drawings.
You have a 1970 Ural? Well, I have a 2006 Ural with a sidecar in my garage, and that is my most favorite bike. We sold my Norton. I had a 68. Okay. What?
Turn it back.
I had a 68 Norton that we sold maybe 3 years ago, and we sold my Triumph, and we have a Ural now, and we love it. It's the most fun sidecar riding around town thing. We've yet to convince the dogs that it's as fun as we think it is, but we're trying. The best thing is that my 2006 and his 1970 Ural are exactly the same. They've done no improvements. Yeah, they've done no improvements. They shift like a bag of rocks.
Crunch. Whenever you're shifting, I'm sitting there like, this can't be real.
I know. He's a terrible motorcycle driver.
This can't be real. Oh, again, I probably mispronouncing it, but Caracelio over on Instagram, he says in his fender, there was a card with a moto racer, right? Didn't they put board track racer cards in there?
I think they did, yeah.
He said it came with the tag.
Oh yeah, very cool. That was my first real motorcycle piece, and it really started for me a very fun road. That's what I would be painting, for bikes. I love all that board track racers, old hill climbers, dirt flat track racers. That's where my real joy of machinery, open oil systems, just pouring out oil, like no brakes. I love that style of bike for some reason. It's so primitive, and it's just, I love painting it. I've done an Indian like that board track racer. That's definitely my one of my loves for sure.
Almighty says this is fully custom and it has a suicide shifter.
Yes. Like me some suicide shifting. The last WLA I painted, it's in the piece. What is it called?
I don't know what a WLA is.
It's the bike I did with the racing the 32 Ford.
Oh, what do you mean? What is it?
What is the piece called?
It's called Suicide Shifter.
Suicide Shifter. Yeah. So I have a piece of a Harley with a suicide shifter, painted from a bike that existed. A friend of mine had the bike, and I saw it and said, "You got to send me pictures. I got to paint that." So Suicide Shifter on my site, that piece is one of my favorites too. Again, to be able to combine old motorcycles and old hot rods.
He says, "What about a Charger 1970?"
Let's see. I've done the. It wasn't a Charger. It was a Mustang versus a Camaro.
Yeah.
Haven't done a Charger yet. If I do a Charger, it's tough. It's again, muscle cars are just a weird box of worms to open up. Because there's just so many variations, and people are so, I love it, but it's not blue. It's one of those tough pieces to satisfy people.
Box of worms. Huh?
I think it's a barrel of chickens or a kettle of shrimp.
Cody is saying those delicate little flowers are those like happy little trees.
They are definitely happy little trees.
You don't feel the way about the flowers like you do like feathers and.
Not yet. When I have to paint the second one, that might change.
Nomadic is saying, have you ever tried golden fluid acrylics before deciding to work with gouache?
I have. and I have a full set, I think, still sitting around here somewhere. I donated a lot of them. I did, and I do use the transparency a lot. The golden fluid transparencies. They just, for gouache, they don't have the transparency, the chalkiness, the coverage. I just didn't like them as much as I liked the gouache, so I just kind of stuck with that. But I did try them. I kind of tried everything. Open acrylics, I've tried, to kind of stay wet like oils. I've tried those. I'm an art nerd, art supply nerd, so I definitely try as much as I can.
Have you ever painted a car or motorcycle with your art?
Painted on a motorcycle or car?
Both cars and motorcycles.
I've done both. Yeah, I've painted on cars and motorcycles.
Vans.
I've done custom vans. I've done custom show bikes, huge bagger show bikes.
You actually have a motorcycle commission right now?
Yes, and if you follow me on the live stream, I have a one of my commissions that's in the queue. Probably be a few months till I get to it. Is a custom motorcycle that's being built, and I'm doing a full tank paint job. Full coverage, and I haven't got to do that ever. I've done a bunch of lots of badges and elements, but never full coverage. So I'm really excited to get to that piece.
Brenda Devine saying happy you're painting tonight.
Thank you for joining us. Whatever name you choose to use.
So he's saying my surname, it's Italian. I understand it's hard to pronounce. Tell me, spell it how I should say it.
Phonetically, yeah. Give me the.
I'm not quite getting it. I want to the double C's. I want to do a sound, but I don't want to mess it up more. So please spell it for me. Make it make sense.
So we stop butchering it.
So I stop butchering it.
We are here to learn.
I want to say caracciolo, but I don't know if I'm making it Spanish instead of Italian. So I'm trying.
We should be better. We spent a lot of time at both places.
It's just I'm not sure if I'm not sure how to say it. We shall see.
And believe it or not, this is not the first baby skeleton we've done.
No, but people always ask, and the only other one you did was so long ago.
So long ago.
And no one's seen it, so.
Yeah, I think it's been retired forever.
Almighty is asking, saying you're done with Western art. Maybe he's asking, have you done Western art?
Yes, I've done Western art, and it's funny you mentioned that. I literally today was working on a new Western piece that I'll probably live stream in a few weeks. Really excited about it. It's a train robbery scene. I've always wanted to do one, so I'm excited to do that. But I have a whole Western section on my site of Western stuff, and it's one of my favorite things to paint. But yes, so one of those is coming very soon. I have 3 Western pieces that are actually already sketched up. I'm just not sure which one's going to make the cut first and get painted. But this year you'll see 3 new Western pieces.
Cody says, I remember you painting the first baby painting. Yeah, he was probably
He was there for the beginning. He was there for everything.
Jeez, Cody, you've seen everything. That's crazy.
Little fused bone line. Then it goes.
He says, your samurais are great.
Oh,
yeah, time to do a samurai piece.
It's time for us. We were sitting around going, what hasn't been done in a while? What's missing? And Western and Samurai are both on the list for this year, coming soon for sure. I don't have any sketches of those I made up yet, but I will get on it. it's fun to have to paint so many different genres because it lets me kind of bounce around and stay excited to paint, and always a line of stuff in my head to get painted. So I too am like, come on already.
Nomadic Casino, would you ever do a demo of how you do your t-shirt design process or mock-up? Oh God, I bet people would be bored.
That's the second person to ask though in a short amount of time.
It's really complicated to think about, so I understand why people would want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's really boring.
It's super boring. I don't know how to make it unboring.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a really boring. You do it
in Photoshop and Illustrator.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll add to the list and we'll see, because I do want to do some more live stream drawings where I'm drawing. So we'll add to the list and see if we can find a good way to make it not suck.
Mm-hmm. Cody's saying, when can we expect to see some sketches?
Sketches! Sketches for sale or just sketches being done?
I don't know, either or both.
All right, so, well, the good thing is this summer we're going to have a big sketch release. I have now 4 years of sketches saved up for this release. So that'll be a sketch sale for all that. So that's the cool part. As for seeing sketches, you should see more of those coming soon. I've been digitally sharing them because I've been digital sketching a bunch. So, and I'll kind of share those. I have a bunch now of all these new pieces coming. So I'll make sure that I get that running and share them so you can kind of see the process. And I try, and the good thing about the when I draw digitally is that I can time lapse it and kind of share that because it automatically saves it a time lapse as I'm drawing. So.
Almighty Customs is saying, what kind of music do you like listening to, or favorite band? And have you ever heard about the Dirty Diary? It's a one-man band.
I have not, but I am a one-man band kind of guy.
Oh, I love one-man band.
Yeah. So what do I listen to? I am a acoustically driven. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to think of what do you even call my stuff. It's an eclectic mix of stuff. From it could be hip hop, it could be Grateful Dead. It's a little bit of everything. That kind of fuels the paint. I've also been known to audiobook a bunch while I'm painting too. So it's a variety of what I kind of at the moment. Social Distortion. It's probably the most constant punky. That and No Effects probably the ones that play the most in the punk side of things. But again, Grateful Dead a bunch.
Caracciolo is also saying it'd be great to see you do a Terminator in your style.
Everyone's trying to get me sued.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
But you do fun mechanical.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
could see a robot of some sort at least, right?
Yes, I have a couple of spaceman ideas, robot spacey things, because I love doing that stuff. So yeah, those are in my head too. There's basically a few stages to my process of coming up with painting ideas. There's I have a notepad on my phone of one sentence ideas for the paintings. Then usually from there it goes to collecting reference material for a painting, and then it basically goes to the sketching process. And I usually have a bunch of paintings sitting in each stage of those processes.
Do you like slide blues, spaghetti western, twang?
Definitely. I'm not much of I'm an older blues guy. John Lee Hooker is probably one of my blues guy. George Thorogood, early stuff. That's probably my bluesy things. Buddy Guy also, so I like some of that. And then I would think for me, the country twang thing, I'm an old for country.
I mean, you love your Johnny Cash.
I love my Johnny Cash. Yeah, that's
old Americana.
yes.
Right?
Johnny Cash is one of my favorites. Old Willie Nelson, old Willie Jennings, that old kind of what do you call that stuff? The outlaw
country.
Yeah, old outlaw country, not in the stadium country. I don't listen to any of that stuff. You what?
I was just saying, put your head back.
Oh.
Melissa is saying, what about a vampire skull or skeleton?
Oh,
How would you represent
the challenge
it being campy?
Yeah, I would love to do a vampire thing. How do I make it cool? I mean, Nosferatu, I love that old style stuff. How do I make it not Twilight would be the challenge. But definitely to be considered for sure, because I love the idea of that. Good stuff. Am I getting too low for the screen?
Well, it's just, neck bones are boring.
Oh, neck bones are boring. How's your head going to stay up?
Who needs them? Why not move to the other skeleton?
Let me just do a few. Sharpen this up a little bit here. I like his little expression. I did have a squiggly.
What about a Zippo smoker 1970s man? I don't know if
that is very specific. Like some guy smoking with a Zippo.
Oh. Never know.
That's, yeah. For me, I don't like, that's kind of, for me, I like bigger stories, so I was
doing something within a scene.
Yeah, I want him to be doing something, nefarious. I just feel like that's
Nefarious.
Yeah. A body in the trunk next to him, something like that. I want to see something like that.
I like that idea.
Yeah. All right, let me slide this over so that everybody can see the other flower. This is gonna feel like an instant replay. Tell me when I'm over there. I know you got a time delay. I'm snoring away. That should be somewhat close. Let me know if that's good. Get my paint while that lines up.
I would say pull back a little.
Pull back in the screen, or move the thing back over?
Move the screen back, so just so we can see both.
All right.
The one you did is almost centered, and then the other one is gone. So maybe see the whole shebang. Meanwhile, I'll show a beautiful movie.
I'll pull back. How far you want to go back? See how that looks for you.
Let me see how it pulls. I feel like that.
Is that good?
Pull back just a smidge more, if it's possible.
It is.
Just so then I think we have both. Yeah, that should be good.
You good?
Melissa's saying, vampire skeleton, long leather duster, tattered, perched on a tombstone in the graveyard. This sounds like a commission.
This is very specific. And I want him to be named Jed, and I want him to be sitting in a 62 Blue Camaro. This is very specific stuff.
Sugar Poodles says, Sugar Poodles. Would you be okay with someone tattooing your art on them? I am them.
Only people named Sugar Poodles are allowed to get myself tattooed from now on.
That has always been the rule. Sugar Poodles, yes.
Yes. So Sugar Poodles, even other people besides Sugar Poodles, yes, no problem at all. Feel free to get anything I've done tattooed, and make sure to send me a picture afterwards so I can check it out. But thank you for asking.
Nomadic is saying, any tarot cards with your cute skulls in the future?
Nomadic, are you messing with me? There's people dying for tarot cards. So I'm going to give my tarot card speech. I love the idea. I love tarot cards, but there's like 50 of them, and you can't just do one. So I would love to do that, and one day we will tackle that project, but it is a full commitment to bang out a tarot card deck. So what I'm hoping is
that you're lazy.
Yes. I'm hoping that someday a manufacturer will approach me and commission a whole set, and then we'll find time.
Almighty is saying, what inspired you for this new sketch?
So this here, I wanted something serious, and I wanted an anatomical heart. And I wanted to kind of show just that more nature side and a cute side. And I was struck by, I saw this articulated skeleton through some Google, so I don't know where, something like that. I don't know why I was looking for conjoined twins, but just kind of popped up, and I started me thinking, and the idea of them sharing a heart, I love the idea of kind of the open rib cage sharing a heart kind of thing, and it just kind of spawned from that. This idea of, it's a sharing a heart with somebody. It's not just, twins born that way. It's just the twins, the person you share your life with. It's kind of fit all that thing. I just kind of like the idea of it representing all those aspects.
Cody is saying, well, if we're talking ideas, just picture from the Black Lagoon. I think he's thrown that one out before.
I think for years. And he knows the speech. Why we don't do it.
Just tell him you'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
Sketch for him.
Tune
Make
in.
him happy.
Exactly. Apologize if the sound gets loud. We got an Apache flying over.
Troy Koskiniemi says, hi David, long time. Hearts, question mark. I thought those were steaks. Cheers, buddy. They love their steaks so much. This pair of people, they love
steak.
Steaks, whichever. Oh shoot, that's so funny. So
Well, and Troy,
I
got to message you later on, anyways, because I got a bunch of questions to make about designing a sign. I got a project for you. I got a project for you.
Based art?
This is the Grove based art.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Other lost leader projects.
Can you hear the dog snore?
I can.
You can?
Yeah. I don't know how anybody couldn't.
He's a dire puppy.
He's earned a break.
From the video, Melissa was saying it looks like the one that you finished painting is like peeking around your head. It was a little weird.
Like, I see you people.
Push Nikki saying, how about a cactus drinking beer? For St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I think we're going to have some cactus-based art.
Yeah, cactus-based. Yes.
Move your head back.
Yes, we have cactus-based art on its way, don't you worry.
I specifically like cactus alive, and I would like some cactus-based art.
And now that we're farmers.
Avocado-based art.
Yeah, there'll be some avocado-based stuff. You think we're kidding? There's already a logo for it.
Almighty is saying, I'd like to see your collaboration with Busterwise. Busterwise says the styles are a little similar, but so different. I don't know what Busterwise is.
I don't think I do either.
I'm gonna look it up.
There's no time where I'm gonna feel super old.
Oh God, we don't know anything. Yeah, bro.
Is he the clown? It's not the clown guy, right?
I don't know. Busterwise. It's the artist behind a Rotten Rat apparel line, hand drawn in digital motorcycle art. I have no idea. I've never seen him before. Tony Schramm says this is awesome.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys all hanging out here. Again, I love the variety of pieces that, this week I have a big, huge nautical commission, so I'm painting a boat and octopus yesterday. I painted World War II earlier in the week and finished that piece up, and a moonshiner I did, earlier this week, finished that painting up. So I like the variety. It keeps me excited to paint, and just keeps, there's so many options open. You can really, there's nothing, off limits. It's really whatever inspires me. And again, the train piece we're talking about, that Western piece, that wasn't even an idea a day and a half ago. And because I keep thinking about it and I've already drawn up a sketch, it's going to cut the line and end up being done,
That's probably one of the best parts of being an independent artist, right? Working for yourself
Mm-hmm.
is what inspires you. You get to do, you're not, other than these commissions that kind of fill the gaps, you're not beholden to someone telling you what your schedule is.
Yeah, I get to bounce around and go, I feel like today doing this. Oh, am I still in the way?
Because when you do little things like this, like little delicate things, you do tend to move away.
Funny.
Mm-hmm. Nomadic is saying, how about a historic Route 40 piece with a semi-tractor? That is the second semi-tractor request we've gotten.
Are you guys all on the same boards?
Everybody's sitting around. I was like, okay, ask him.
No, and we will do because we've been asked for years for the long haul trucker piece. But again, that's one of those ones that I have a funny idea, but is that what they want? It's a tough one with that kind of stuff. Because boy, you take a big truck and you can fill it with drunk mariachi band members. I mean, it is easy to be fun and playful, but I always feel like they want more of a serious, flames, smokestack shooting. And that's always been the problem with that piece, and why it's been held up for years. It's just figuring out what I feel like is the best, representation of that. I think now the best representation is just driving them and parking them somewhere. Is that how it works now?
Yeah, maybe now's not the time.
Yeah. Paint is boopy and I need to change it, but I refuse.
Well, you still have a face to do, so if you're going to change it.
Yeah, I'll change it for the face.
It goes crappy that fast. The paint.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
like an hour.
What is it? What are we at? 45 minutes? Yeah. Yeah. By the end, basically a cupful. By the last end of the cupful, usually even a normal cupful. And by cupful, I mean a quarter size. If you were to squeeze out a quarter worth of paint, that's kind of what.
It just starts getting gummier
Yeah.
and gummier,
Yep.
and you're reducing it. Why don't you just reduce what you have? Does it not go to a certain?
Oh, I reduce it, but it still starts to get gummy.
And you can't keep reducing it?
No, I can keep reducing it, but the brush needs to be clean anyways. So that's like step one is just cleaning the brush to get the flow, because clean all the bristles because the paint is, clogged it up almost. So it's kind of a multi-stage process. First you clean out the bristle, and then you're like, okay, just get new paint. And again, I mix a ton for every painting. I mix 3 times what I would ever need. So there's no reason for me not to just squirt some new stuff in there. But I just get on a jam, and I don't like to pull over.
Almighty Custom Works is saying, what do you think which painting is your best? Can you name it?
Oh, is my best?
What's your best technically, you think, today?
Oh, crapola. That's a tough. That's not even what my favorite is. What my best painting is.
What do you think's your most technical achievement?
Oh shit. Great question, and screw you. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say, and I am swayed by the sheer size of it. I think that's what's going to sway the technical question. The piece, Last Call, was a giant piece. And
it's a big tiki piece.
It's a
with
giant,
a bunch of characters in a bar.
Yeah, giant tiki piece, bunch of characters in a bar, and an homage to 15 years of me painting tiki stuff. In that bar is basically characters I painted. My signature mug is in the background. It's all kind of an homage to all the work I've done for tiki stuff. And that piece was, I want to say it was almost 5 feet wide by 3.5 feet tall. And it was a big piece. It's the longest piece to date to paint for sure. I mean, full coverage, easily 70, 80 hours. I mean, 2 whole festivals plus painting at home. It was a lot of painting. And I think that's probably what I think is my most rewarding, but I'm also swayed by the fact it took so long. So in that way, I would say that The Last Call is probably my technical achievement. As an overall piece, I have pieces that I think have technical achievements in terms of lighting or depth or action that stand out, but are not, the most overall technical. So that's kind of my beat around excuse answer for you.
Move your head back.
That's a tough one.
Ben says I have a print of that in my kitchen. The Last Call.
Good choice, Ben. Ben agrees.
Jolene Cruz says there's something extremely soothing about watching you paint, and then puppy.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us and being relaxed. This is what I'd be doing if you weren't here, so I appreciate you guys hanging around.
Well, it's funny that you say Last Call is maybe your most technical, because you wouldn't think a tiki piece as being technical.
No.
And prior to that, it would probably be one of your military pieces when you're doing a warplane.
Yep.
Because it's so mechanical. But to be technical doesn't have to be mechanical.
No, and what's sitting in second place behind that painting, I think, would be Rum Runners. Another giant piece.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
You know why? Tiki's technical because you have so much texture, right?
Yes.
You have so many different wood grains.
And it's almost always full
Ocean.
coverage. Yeah.
Yeah. Sky. How to figure out how sky and ocean meet and not look like mush.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
yep.
It's technical.
And every piece of rope, every board has just its own texture to it.
So much rendering. I think that's the thing with the tiki pieces.
Yep.
Is they have to be so fully rendered. There's so much little detail, but you wouldn't think so when you look at the pieces. They just seem playful and fun, but there's a lot to do.
Yep, and that's why I think sitting in second place would definitely be Rum Runners. Another huge piece. So much going. How do you make 500 pieces of bamboo not look the same? Not be monochromatic and great. And so along that lines, I think my next big technical piece that I know is coming down the road is a commission that I have, which is going to be a 4x8 painting that's all combining all the collector wants to combine all of my pirates and nautical pieces from my career. So just all kinds of, that'll be an amazing piece, and that same kind of thing. That'll just be a monumental task to capture all the elements. I'm super excited to start that one.
Cody says, I'd love to see you do some of your original sketches. The friar, octopus holding the mermaid down, a safari hunter, a zombie priest.
Jesus.
How about a Mexican standoff piece?
He has all the old stuff. I didn't even remember half those pieces. You just said them. I haven't thought about them in years. For sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, you could go back and
I could just repaint stuff that I painted, 15 years ago in sketches and not even get to new stuff.
Totally. You could just harvest your old sketches forever. And we probably should.
Well, yeah, we've talked about it. There's a couple pieces that I know I can do so much better now that I did, 15 years ago. They just deserve a better hand.
Almighty is asking, so an example is Kurt Cobain had said that music should be free. And what do you think about when people are stealing your drawings?
Everybody else's art should be free.
Except for yours.
Mine should be very expensive. I get it. And it's funny because being on this kind of, and when I would have been a Napster guy. I was a Napster guy, growing up. That just dates me.
Nobody knows what Napster is.
What the hell's Napster? Stealing music online like that. I get it, and I get why people do that, and it helps the overall thing. But I get the other side too. If this is what I do as a living and stealing my stuff, and I'm constantly chasing bootlegs on Etsy and Amazon and everywhere else, and I don't even post anymore because we're chasing it so much, and it's a bummer. Especially where things can be knocked off so easy now with technology and how great it is. So I think buy it from the source. I went legit. I buy all my music now. I don't download anything. It's I want to support the artists that make the stuff that I like. Sounds oh man.
It's really hard to make the art affordable.
Exactly.
Right, at every level.
We've always remembered
this original is $1,400, but there'll be $5 print.
Yes.
Available. Because I want children to be able to buy it. I want people to be able to give it freely, share it freely, and still let us have an art life.
Yes.
Right? And produce more art. But
we're very fortunate this is our life.
Yeah.
And I remember not being able to afford anything. I know my originals are expensive. I couldn't afford me. I get it. Yeah. But I want to be able to make art that everyone can get a piece of and share in at some stage, at some size. We really worked hard to keep an option like that for everybody. Does nobody know Napster? Like, seriously, no one on the stream?
I don't know why anyone would know Napster. Is it even exist anymore?
No. Well, I'm sure it exists as some weird other name.
Back in the day, people used to...
Like, does no one know what Morpheus is? Or Winamp? Like, am I saying old things that no one knows?
Very, very...
Man.
Nomadic is asking, have you ever done a book with your art? Image and story about each piece. We would love to.
We'd love to do a coffee table book, and it'll happen one day. We're going to find a publisher, and it's going to be great, and it's all going to happen. We've done 2 kids' books. We've illustrated some other people's book covers. But as for like a coffee table book of all the art, have not done it yet, and I have so much cool stuff that we've collected over the years. From pictures from international shows to small pieces that no one's seen. We have a lot of stuff to fill this book with, and it will happen one day.
Cody Brown is saying he remembers all those download sites. And Goji Busco, I'm not sure, over on Instagram says LimeWire.
Yes, yes.
You get it? Oh my God. The hours I used to spend.
I used to set like 100 songs to download, and then come back to the folder and see what actually downloaded and what wasn't, like
for sure, partials
and porn links and other crap stuff mixed in. You're like, just be the song I want. But it's a lot better than sitting by the radio trying to hit the record button.
So funny. Yeah, Ben is saying, for me, I like to buy prints because I'm 15 with no job, but I like to have I want to have things like paintings, so I buy prints and I put them in frames.
Exactly, Ben, and that's exactly. And you're already ahead of the game. I was not collecting art at your age at all, so you're already way ahead of the game. And again, the fact that I'll sign anything anybody buys. If you message me and want it signed or personalized, I'll sign anything. I'll sign the small $2 discontinued mini prints we have. Because I want you to have it. If that's what you want. You want an original signature on something that. I want to be able to give that to people who've never charged for signatures, shouldn't charge for signatures. I think you're a piece of crap if you do. As an artist, if it's like you're at cons and that's what you are as an ex-actor, well then whatever.
So all my ideas saying your art is inspiring, and I mixed it with music, and I made my bike in my garage.
Awesome. That's again, there's no better compliment than to inspire people to make other art, fuel their creativity. That's the best. Like that really means a lot, and it's. Because I know what the kind of things that move me, the artists I collect, the music I collect, that does the same thing. Gets me fired up.
Are you changing up your paint?
Yep.
And we should pull the camera back a little bit more.
Pull the camera back. Back farther?
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa.
Or I could just unfocus it. Is that better?
Yes. Yeah, do that.
Do that?
Yeah. Do that. So then when you do the face, you can see.
Just double check your focus to make sure you're still focused. Yeah, you are. Okay.
Nomadic says, "Oh, Napster." He remembers.
Oh, Napster.
Napster.
Again, there's music, that you can't get any other way. Live stuff, concert stuff. There was no other way to get that stuff. Ripping out of YouTube videos, there's just certain nefarious things that sometimes need to be done.
Almighty is saying, how much time and tries did it take for you to develop your style?
You know,
Ongoing.
It's constantly developing. I was very fortunate to when I found enamel paint, and I was able to do the line work that you see here. That kind of really, it was what my brain was trying to do. I was using acrylics, and it was, I would go over the same line multiple times because it wasn't completely opaque, and it wouldn't be what I wanted and what I saw in my head. So when I found that enamel, it literally kind of unlocked my brain and let my style kind of blossom more and more, and it was really the biggest jump in my style and figuring out what it is. But I'm still constantly developing, my trips, my techniques, different textures, lighting effects, things I'm still constantly working on and trying to improve on and find new ways to render things. Great example is the piece, the Moonshiner piece, which I haven't posted yet, and actually the World War II piece. Both have some airbrush in them for some smoke effects and some dust effects. I have not done that before. It was the first time I did that, so it was really fun to kind of try new things and to give, when you use enamel and it's line work, you don't have that ability to make things soft. Everything is a line, it has a hard edge. So trying to find ways to, show that motion and dust, and it was really fun to kind of experiment, and I'm really happy with the effects. So you'll see both those new pieces have that in it. And those will be part of our spring art release along with this piece here, which will have new prints and also a very special release that we can't talk about yet, which will be part of that release. But you guys will be excited for that as another thing that's about to be released that's coming out. It's not, well, it's art, but it's not flat 2D art. How about that? We're still keeping that secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Blame her. I was going to tell you guys, but she said no. Let's do some creepy faces.
Have you ever watched the AMC series, Hell on Wheels?
I have not seen it. I've been told to watch it. People who really enjoyed it. I have not seen it yet.
What is that,
It's the Western one that Janice loves.
Yeah.
I have to be careful on this stuff here. This is where I hold my breath unintentionally. I'm just gonna fall over. Must breathe. Take some of those out of there. That's too many. For the squiggly line, I'm gonna block the camera for a second. Why do I love enamel? This. No other paint you can do that with.
Oh.
Do it just drop.
On Instagram, I stopped.
Instagram just dropped out. All right. Bunny. You down?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Sorry, Instagram, you just frizzed out on us.
Sorry, Instagram had a little glitch.
So we'll finish up this head here, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. If you got any questions, get them in now. About 10 minutes left. Again, appreciate you guys all hanging out. This has been a really fun stream. Tough questions. They brought their A game.
If you had a question and it didn't get answered, feel free to ask it again because our feed went down and I know everything disappeared with it, so I can't go back in time. I know there were questions that I missed.
Hold on a second. Get this in here, and then I'll get out of the way.
So the feed had gone down. You were saying what, 10 more minutes? Is that what
Yeah, about 10 more minutes. Yeah, I'm wrapping up here. So if you have any questions, get them in now. Again, thank you guys all for joining the stream. Trying to do this more often. And you can kind of catch us on whatever platform you're watching now. We also do Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So no excuses for you not to find it.
So what all my aide had said before I put it out was, what do you think about modern America? Was it better before, or is it better now? It's not good right now.
It's not good right now. Yeah. But it wasn't better before either.
No?
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
I've traveled extensively throughout Europe, and we've been to 13 countries. 13, 17.
And plus Australia. Europe as much as we could in Australia.
Yeah, Europe as much as you want. Australia, Finland,
Yeah.
Spain, Italy, the Czech Republic. We've been all over the place, and I love all the uniqueness. I'm not one to think that this country is better than any other country. I think they all have their own ups and downs, and there's no elitistness. There's no like this is the best. No, they're all unique in their own way and wonderful in their own way. And I'm smart enough to know that there's improvements that can be done at every country, and this one has a lot of improving to do.
Nomadic has seen any plans to travel internationally in the near future?
So no plans as of right now to travel internationally because things are, just with COVID and everything else, we're still just wearing it all out. So I think I'm hoping that our first trip might be next spring. I'd like to go back to the Semana Santa in Spain, back to Italy again. There's some more parts of Italy I want to see. So yeah, so we hope it'll happen again soon.
Before all this, we were taking about 2 international trips a year.
Yeah.
Well, we in the U.S. call it international trip, but trying to see a country or two per trip, you know, within a 2-week period of time. We really want to see it all. I mean, everything. And just, yeah, COVID really shut it down. We were hoping for this April, I remember last year at this time.
Yeah.
We were thinking maybe April 2022 we'll be able to go to Spain, and nope. No, just have to wait.
But I miss it, and I'm super antsy to travel again.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
And again, and traveling just really, when you travel internationally, it just lets you see, you know, get a much better perspective of the world. I feel like for me, it just lets me go, okay, we're not. You get stuck in, you know, hearing all the, you know, the craziest going on in your country, and you forget there's a whole world out there, and one doesn't care.
Cody said, in your progress through your career, is there a certain stage you hit? For example, I remember when you started playing around with fire, do you have a certain style or a concept you love the best, like the Nothing Left Behind or another piece?
Oh, damn you.
Ooh, complicated.
Complicated question, and a great question. So I love the line work in general. That's always my favorite part. So we'll get that out of the way first. This part right here, doing line work, is the most satisfying, rewarding part of my painting by far. As for certain things to paint, I love lighting effects. I love
See, now that's interesting. I think there are different jumps that you made, and there's something so small and specific as to why.
Yes,
it's your style jump, and the most recent one has been lighting.
Yes,
the most recent one. I think prior to that it was probably textures.
Mechanical textures, especially, I would say. You know, how do you render the side of an airplane panel? Like, you know, certain things that are completely flat, giving it interesting texture, like that circuit board texture that my brain manifests. You know, just some of that elements. Machinery in general, I love machinery, and that's where those textures really came out. And during that period, which I would kind of say was 3 or 4 years ago, where the mechanical stuff really started to.
I would say that was like 5 years ago, because it was before COVID.
Yes.
And then I would say in the past 3 years, lighting, really being cognizant of lighting, and not just lighting meaning where the light is coming from, and then casting shadows and stuff like that, but how light works on the different characters, how it reflects on them.
Yeah, like look at Plague Doctor, you know, a lot of lighting stuff going on there. Those are definitely some of the beginnings of the maturation of that.
Yeah, I think that's so. It's hard to say, call them stages, but there are. If you were to write it out, you would say, oh, this is the point at which you really started focusing hard on how that works conceptually, right? And fussing over it. I would say, what stage are you in now? Lately, you've been, well, in the past 2 weeks specifically, more concerned with atmosphere.
Yep, atmosphere, action, a little more motion.
So instead of just specifically kicking up the 2 different paintings, totally different paintings, but both involved dust being kicked up, right? Kind of things flying through the air, and you focused on how do you show more atmosphere. It's not just specks of black, right?
Yes.
It's more of how do you make it bulbous? How do you make it thick and thin and feel like there's dust and grit? And so I think that's an interesting thing you're starting to do.
In ways we hadn't done before in the past, for sure.
Yeah.
And again, I love that. There's things like I can do better. I can learn. I'm not, one to be like, okay, I've got it all. I'm awesome.
It's funny when like Cody says that, because that Nothing Left to Hunt piece, I love that piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so.
We're the only ones.
Cool and interesting, and it was well done then, but that's 12 years ago. Like what you would do with it now, I feel like the lighting.
It'd be all lighting.
The lighting would be much more atmospheric. It'd be much more gloomy even than it was then. Not relying on the background color to force it to be gloomy, but how the light hits on him.
And that's some of the stuff we've been talking about revisiting. Is like we could do that so much better now. And the conception of the composition is a great composition. it's a great idea. It's still there. It just needs a more mature hand at it now.
Yeah. You could redo any pieces from even as recent as like a year ago, and you would do it better now. And that's the whole point of growth.
Am I out of frame?
Yeah, you're good. Michael Stegman says the flower detail is cool.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Cody Brown is saying, that Nothing Left to Hunt piece was great. Love the bamboo effect for the background. Yeah, that was how do you with enamel make a background, mid, and foreground? Right?
Yeah.
With one single paint, how do you represent back, middle, and foreground?
To not have a flat, and again, being the way that I ink, my constant battle is to not make a comic book page. I don't want it to be flat. It's very easy to do when you're outlining work to avoid that flatness. It's a constant struggle I try to make. So trying to find ways to battle that and to explore.
Well, there's always funny little challenges with each piece. Like this piece, it was, should the heart be anatomical or should it just be a big heart?
We had a whole discussion. Yeah, we had a whole discussion about it.
They could be holding a big bulbous, cartoon heart, and you would understand what it is right off the bat. Nobody's calling it a stick. Or should it be done in like a gold foil, like where it has a religious feel to it, right? Where it's this like weird gold heart, and it kind of has this iridescent shininess to it. And we're like, well, what is that saying though within the piece? Then it's this big gold bulbous.
And it's flat.
And it's flat.
There's basically three choices. There's flat gold where it was foil. Like literally gold foil. I was going to gold foil this and then paint that.
And it really makes this piece push religious.
Yes.
It looks old timey.
And it's very flat. You don't get any shade. It's a one solid color, and then my enamel gives it shade. It's a very distinct look, and it's like that's religious. And there was like the cutesy heart, where it's just.
Then it was, should it just be gold but bulbous? Right?
Painted. Yes, painted with gold gouache.
But be gold. Make it be a gold heart, and we kind of were like, yeah, that's so cool. That'll look great. But then you're like, what if it looks like a turkey? What if it looks, they're holding, an anatomical heart is ugly.
Mm-hmm.
With the valves and stuff. It doesn't look like anything lovely. And if it's not heart colored, you're probably going, what the hell are they holding?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes conceptually, you have to just fight through.
Yeah,
makes sense to the world,
And that's where having someone here who's seen all my work for 20 years helps to, I know it's in my head, and I go, what? They'll all know what it is. But I need someone on the outside to go, no. You know what an anatomical heart looks like. Doesn't mean anyone else does.
Yeah. And like my first impression was, you absolutely do it in gold foil, so it has this Renaissance-y, gold gilded feel to it. And then you could do the same with some of the flowers, but I was just like, the whole thing will be flat. It'll take on a flatness. It'll look like a painting from hundreds of years ago, which is fine. But is that what you're trying to say right now? Is that the kind of piece you're trying to make? And it wasn't. And so, weird decisions like that. And so stylistically, you have to decide, what does this heart look like? How cartoony do you push it? How realistic do you push it? Is it this big, bloody, gross heart?
Yeah.
Or do you try to make it kind of funny?
Well, and I knew doing baby skeletons, you are inherently already a strike against you. Yeah. Sure. There's gonna be someone's gonna make some weird dead babies, some stupid comment. I don't let it ever stop me from doing a piece, but I expect it. I expect stupidity. But it all goes into the conception of these pieces as we're working on a piece and building it. What is it best? What are you trying to do? Like we talked about before, I have different styles. What style should a piece be done in? That's usually the first discussion we have is, okay, this piece is that cutesy.
What of the 3 skeleton styles should it be in? And then, like we were just talking about lighting being kind of your little obsession lately, this has no effect on lighting.
No.
This piece doesn't incorporate lighting in any way. And so, he doesn't focus and obsess, though, on the thing that he's thinking about these days as far as like a stylistic change or improvement. You just, but it weaves its way into other pieces, but it's not like the only focus. It's not like painters of the past where you can reflect on their work and be like, Van Gogh's blue period.
Yes.
There's no Lozeau light period. You know, there's no Lozeau textural
Nope,
stage.
because I'll mix it all in as I'm doing the work.
Yeah, it's largely mixed in. He and I might be able to point back to when a change occurred, but there is no dead set focus on it to where that's all that's being focused on and done. So maybe that's for the best. Like you won't have a period, right?
Yeah.
If people look back at your work, I don't think they'll say that was this period of time when he was doing this thing. It's a little bit more mixed than that.
And I think that the various genres and styles help to let me bounce around. So I'm not obsessed with one thing and not progressing on anything else and avoiding other subjects because, I wouldn't paint this, because I'm on lighting now. And this isn't any kind of interesting lighting or weird lighting. I don't want to even paint it. It helps me not get segmented and bogged down in that stuff.
Like if you approach this piece and we're like, I'm focused on lighting right now, then one of these characters would have to be holding a lantern.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
You need to create a light source which changes the whole story. And so we're not trying to make the stories and the narrative fit a challenge right now that he's enjoying, right? Like, deal with that challenge in another painting. It's just not going to be every painting.
You must be getting out of frame by now, right?
You must be what?
Getting out of frame?
No, you're good. You're right towards the bottom. Probably another 5 minutes.
All right. Great questions, though.
Yeah, and Cody's saying, yeah, you have a great way to decide that. You can do your goofy piece, or you can do an anatomical piece.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the audience you're trying to approach.
Completely, because however I do it, and there's things I can do with cute things that would be not sacrilegious, but would be, could be offensive.
Sure.
Things, little devil characters, my little devil guys, I can draw those to the cows come home doing anything I want, and nobody has any problem with it.
Right. Well, like this piece could have been truly anatomical, and I'd probably just read more gothic-y, darky, creepy, even though it's light touch. You know what I mean? I think it would just have a different feel to it. And this is that mid-range where it's kind of funny.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of a wink and a smile, and that felt appropriate for this piece. But it could have gone either way. You could have fully done this full cartoon.
Full cartoon.
You could have done it full, serious, anatomical, finding this in a curiosity shop, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess just at the time you have to decide what you feel like doing with it.
And that's really one of the benefits of my art, that I have that flexibility. Because again, if you paint certain things, that's what you paint. Like I'm fortunate to have that flexibility to be able to bounce around and make things different and experiment. Monarch butterfly.
Almighty was asking, what do you like for cars, engines or Tesla?
Oh.
Well, I'd love to have an electric car.
I love electric cars. I think, I think Teslas are great. I think a great idea, great concept. They're not made incredibly well from a control point, panel spacing, stuff like that. So in that way, I'm all hybrid fuel for sure. There's no reason not to. We have old hot rods to get your gas powered stuff, but every other day should be electric for sure. I have full solar. I'm that guy.
But there's no substitute for that smell of gas, like when you're on the motorcycle.
Well, yes.
that just very specific feeling you get when you're on a motorcycle. And you're just exposed to everything in the wind and the gas that's right in between your legs. Can't replicate that with an electric.
They need a can, like an air freshener for gas smell.
Move your head back.
All right, well, let's...
Yeah, since you're towards the bottom,
Yep.
It's probably hard to see. So if there's any last questions, probably just do another minute.
Yeah, and if you're watching the stream afterwards, just put a question in. I always check all the questions, afterwards too. So any questions, input, let me know. Again, anybody interested, feel free to message me. Again, this piece is $1,400. It's 22 by 12. And there'll be full prints available as part of our spring print release. So in a few weeks, we will have that. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Boy, you guys brought the questions today. I'm going to have to start practicing and rehearsing before I get on. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. And we'll see you guys again soon. Take care.